Hello there, fellow traveller. Come, sit by the fire, and I will explain how I became the Queen High Priestess of the entire universe, according to the followers of my own religion. It's so easy. I'm surprised that other people haven't done it already. Hello, fellow traveller.
Hello.
Come, sit by the fire. Tell me, have you come to find out how to start your own religion?
No, I've actually come to find out what you're doing in my house.
There's a very good answer to that. And I don't know what it is. Bye.
Bloody wizards. You know, it's like this every single time I can't make a video for a few weeks. I'd love to know what's going on to cause this. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nobmouse Show. This week I want to tackle a topic that will interest both fantasy writers and con artists alike. And this is a tricky subject, so I'm going to start with a disclaimer because I want to stop as many people as possible from complaining at me. Yes, your religion is real. And no, I'm not trying to denigrate it. You're entitled to your beliefs, whatever they may be, and what I'm about to say won't change this, okay? Good. On with the show. Starting your own religion isn't hard, but doing it right will be. Any old hack can throw together some Zen-sounding quotes and mystic-looking ideas and call it a religion, but if you want anyone to believe it, you're going to have to put in a lot of time and work. That's why fantasy fans remember what the elves from Lord of the Rings believe in, because Tolkien put a lot of time and effort into his backstory, but even the most die-hard trekker would be hard-pressed to explain the cobbled-together mess that is Vulcan religion. So let's start with lesson 1. If you're going to start your own religion, you need to know what it's actually about. Why are you doing this? If it's to get fame and notoriety, there are easier ways, and this is no surefire way of achieving recognition. After all, while some, maybe even a lot of people, can name Joel Gardner as the founder of Wicca and L. Ron Hubbard as the founder of Scientology, there are significantly fewer people who know who Anton LaVey and Bobby Henderson are. So if you're only here to get yourself known, maybe think again, or not, it's your choice. Either way, you need to know why you're doing this. Write it down and try to make your reason as succinct as possible. Consider it your elevator pitch for your new faith. Let's create an example here. This isn't something I personally believe in. We're just going to come up with something, a new religion for a fictional story. Let's say our fictional founder of this religion has noticed that electronics have some strange kind of personality to them and that they don't always operate as expected. Some people have more affinity with electronics than others, and some people can seem to work magic with a soldering iron in some time, while others simply make a mess and break things. So our fictional founder looks into what's going on there and discovers that electrical circuits, computers and other electronic equipment are imbued with a kind of life force during their creation. And it's only those people with a strong enough life-creating power in them that can do it, which is why invention is so difficult. Our fictional religious founder then begins studying how this works, in the hope of imparting knowledge and wisdom to others that will help them make their own life-creating powers stronger. Now, you might think that all sounds like hokum, and that's fine. It's an example, not something from the real world, and in fact, it's a variant on the concept of technomancy, which has been used in a number of role-playing books.
Technomancy? That sounds like you raised computers from a skip. Reboot! Reboot!
The point is that if your religion is going to work, or if you're creating this for a book or other project, if it's going to sound believable enough for your readership to buy it, then you're going to have to be able to answer one very specific question. What do your religion's followers believe? If you can't answer that, your religion will fall apart. Now, you don't have to work everything out about every belief that your followers must have, so don't worry. A lot of that can come later if it ever has to come at all. But you should have enough here that you can put together a decent set of core requirements. Let's look at another example, but don't worry, we're not going to make something up out of whole cloth this time. Let's take a look at the beliefs of Pastafarianism, because why not? According to various websites, Pastafarianism has several core beliefs, namely that religion doesn't require literal belief in something to achieve spiritual enlightenment from it, and therefore there are many different levels of belief and they're all equally valid. That all humans descend from pirates, who were the original Pastafarians, because humans and pirates share almost 100% of the same DNA, and that while nobody actually knows what awaits them in the afterlife, The flying spaghetti monster has a heaven that contains a beer volcano and a stripper factory. Which leads me to my next question. Where do I sign up? I know, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness though, I was able to jot down 3 core beliefs for that religion just by scanning a few pages on some websites. You need to be able to do a similar summary for your religion, although you can leave out the bit about the beer and strippers if you want to. So what's next? Well, you're going to need to work on your rituals. Most, if not all, religions have rituals of some kind. These are the practices that are both repeated often and also central to group bonding and the reinforcement of the central beliefs of the religion. If you're not sure what kind of rituals you're interested in for your religion, take a look at the rituals of current religions and see what will work best for you. For example, modern neo-pagan rituals often involve the creation of a sacred space. Often it's inside a purified circle that's bordered with a special rope or drawn with chalk, and often with the compass points on it marked out with candles or other symbols. Then the ritual itself will take place at an altar that is set up inside the circle for that purpose. The creation of the circle is both a ritual in and of itself and also part of a larger ritual. In many, not all, but many neo-pagan ritual workings, the entire group will be involved in the various parts of the ritual, which creates a very strong group bond, but also limits the number of people who can feasibly take part at any one time. Meanwhile, Christian rituals are a more hands-off process for the layperson, with the majority of the work being done by the priesthood. As a result, far more people can be involved at once, because the focus of the work is on the one person rather than spread amongst many. These 2 religions by no means cover the entire sum total of what's possible with rituals, but they do present some very good examples of how different methods have their own advantages and limitations. So let's get back to our fictional technomancy example from earlier. If we were to introduce a ritual where the believer demonstrates their faith by building a mechanical device of some kind, we could decide that this takes one of several forms. If this is a ritual undertaken alone, the device would have to be small if it was to be created from scratch each time the ritual is performed. Otherwise, the believer would have no time to do anything else in their life. Alternatively, they could be required to work on one large project for small amounts of time at regular intervals. Let's say for 1 or 2 hours per day, and for the entire project to be expected to take their entire life to complete. Another option would be a requirement that the believer work with a group on a large group project that could either be completed during the ritual in one session or over several months or years. Each would be an equally valid ritual and expression of faith, and which you decided to go with would depend on what the point of the ritual is. You'll need to decide that as much as you will the rest of the ritual. Rituals have many reasons for being. Some are affirmations of faith, some are to reinforce a particular aspect of belief, some are a celebration of something associated with the religion itself, and some are done because they've always been done and nobody can remember why, or at least no one can agree on why. Your religion can have some or none from each of these reasons when you put together your ritualistic practices. Now I realise that this video is getting quite long, but don't worry, we're almost done. You've got your core beliefs, and you have the rituals that go along with them. So what else do you need? Well, a surrounding mythology would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Tolkien, for example, has the lives of the Valar, and huge amounts of other backstory to his world. I know I've probably mispronounced Valar, but hey, it's my video. Star Trek has the teachings of Surak that founded Vulcan philosophy. Pastafarianism has the gospel of the flying spaghetti monster and its associated creation stories. All of this helps to reinforce the various beliefs that are central to a religion, because those beliefs can be expressed in the form of stories and morality tales that explain not just what a follower is expected to believe, but why. The why is important because it helps you to answer a lot of questions that newcomers will have, and the answers you give if you have a mythology will all be far better than "because I said so." And we know it is because you said so, but you can't tell them that. Okay, that's pretty much everything you'll need to get started. If there's anything else you'll need, you'll be pretty well placed to add it in, now that you've got a thorough foundation to work on. You're forgetting something, oh yeah? What's that? A name! How about Dumbass? That's a good name. No, a name for the religion. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Congratulations, it's your first. Oh, bite me, Assad. A name is important, of course it is. But everything else we've already covered is more important. Names carry a lot of meaning, and their sound, as well as the baggage that they'll carry because of their association with the mythology and tenets that you've come up with, will give an impression to the hearer that will cloud their view of everything else. Choose the name for your religion wisely. For example, let's look at Pastafarianism again. It sounds like a joke, because it's supposed to. It's meant to be light-hearted, but that light-heartedness would not have come across on first hearing anywhere near as well if the name had been more harsh sounding. We know the Sith from Star Wars are bad guys, even without meeting one, because of the name. Sith. It sounds harsh and venomous. So pick a name that has meaning for your new religion, sure, but make sure it's the right sounding name, because if you don't, it will cloud the views of your potential recruits before you even get a chance to start talking to them. Anyway, that's really all we've got time for this week, so thank you all for watching, and I hope you like this, and if you did, remember to click the like button. Share it with your friends so that they can hear something interesting as well, and do remember to subscribe for future videos, because there will be more in the future. But until next time, I've been Kirk-Robinson, you've been watching the Nobmouse Show, and I'll see you next time.